ahead. Go ahead.
And we say hello to you on a Saturday evening here in the capital city of Baton Rouge. Once again, LSU with a stunning 22-21 victory over the Auburn Tigers. We have plenty to talk about, plenty to recap. LSU 3-0. TK, what a ball game. Ups and downs. LSU dominated the first quarter, only had 7 points to show for it. Auburn put a lot of pressure in the second quarter, scored a couple of times, 14-10. It goes back and forth. And Joe Burrow wasn't his greatest day as far as throwing with accuracy, but what great moxie. And everybody watching this game has got to be fired up because this is the first time since 2011 that LSU has defeated 2 top 10 programs and teams. What a way to start it off on a Saturday night, TK.
Well, it's an incredible win. It's an upset, but it's a win. It's an upset, but there are those who are going to say LSU was the better team. Middle of the game, the momentum shifted. Auburn got it going, took the lead at halftime, but LSU kept playing like you're supposed to do, and they battled back, buddy, and get this win on the 42-yard field goal by Cole Tracy. They brought him in to kick field goals. And guess what? He missed one earlier, but he made the one that counted today.
No doubt about it. Cole Tracy, it wasn't the prettiest thing, but as soon as it went over the crossbar, everybody going crazy, the Auburn crowd going crazy. There were a lot of pass interference calls in this game, TK, and a lot of balls that were battled, both with Stidham and as well as Joe Burrow. By the way, Tiger fans, you've got to be excited, and we want to hear from you today. TK, give them that phone number, please.
225-928-4910, 225-928-4910, or send a text message to area code 504-689-9246 as the phones are blowing up here, as we're getting plenty of people. Facebook Live, radio, TV on Pelican Sports TV right here for you with a truly remarkable win for LSU.
You know, we have been in this studio and doing post-game shows when Alabama came back and snaked LSU at the end a couple of times in 12 and 14. And it's been a long ride for you Tiger fans. And look, everybody knows that I was going crazy. I think we got to give props to Steve Ensminger and the offensive philosophy. They did a lot of the stuff that we talked about. They were more 50-50 on first down. They threw the ball on first down. Obviously, we all know that a lot of the experienced receivers played. I didn't see a lot of Jamar Chase and a lot of Terrace Marshall. But lo and behold, everything that possibly could happen could happen. And once again, Cole Tracy, wow, can you imagine how popular he's going to be on campus come Monday?
Well, buddy, a couple text messages. One says, this tops the earthquake game. I think you can discuss that. Great as it was, Hodson to Fuller. Here's a field goal, 2 seconds when they snapped it. Line drive, but it went right between the posts like it's supposed to go. Here's another text message on a text message line. Says, Tigers win, but need to clean up the penalties. That's Floyd from down in Patterson.
No doubt.
Us know that. That's a great observation. Good point by Floyd. So anyway, the bottom line is a win. I didn't think they'd win. I really thought Auburn would do it. Would you tell me it was about 50-50 on your predictions? Some people had Auburn, some had LSU.
Oh, no, we had a lot of Auburn picks. We had a lot of people thinking that Auburn was going to win, and obviously it went down to the wire. But I think Coach O made a few friends and fans, and let's give LSU credit. It's great to get the W, but they played tough. A lot of injuries during the game. Chase and Hines 57 have to come in. It's just amazing. We don't have an hour and a half to talk about all the incredible things, but we want to give you people an opportunity and let us hear your emotions and your feelings. And obviously, this is a good one, folks. Drink you an extra bottle of water or whatever you're going to have, the spirits, the libations, because it's been a long time coming.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, phone calls, text messages, we're going to make it all happen right after this pause on the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. LSU wins 22-21, the 42-yard field goal by Cole Tracy. Tigers 1-0 in conference play. We're back after this pause. Stay with us.
Can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try wasabi sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Tigers are 3-0 overall, 1-0 in league play, 22-21 over Auburn. The 42-yard field goal by Cole Tracy. Let's go to Bill in Gonzales. Bill, welcome to the post-game show.
All right, how y'all doing?
Bill, good to talk with you, and I finally saw what you look like this week, Bill.
You did? Oh, they had me on camera. My phone went out at the coach's show.
I saw the replay on CST, and boy, you were frantically trying to get a call in. Bill, tell us what you were thinking on the back end.
What I was thinking that night, buddy, you know, I had my game plan, right? Had the Tiger mascot with me, and we were going to say, basically, we ain't afraid of no Arby at all because we know what we are. We are LSU Fighting Tigers, and we are the real Tigers of the Southeastern Conference. We're not a War Eagles, Tiger, Plainsman, oh my, schizoid from Auburn. Now, to the ball game. I think this team is finding itself a little bit, and I put it this way. In the first half, I was glad to see open field tackles on the sideline spread plays, and they were better up the middle for the most of it. But good Lord, it's like the offense is the first and fourth quarter, it seems like, and we talked about this last couple of years with Danny Etland. Tommy, what you think about it? I think they're trying to make a running back out of Burrow. And it's like when we got Brissett right there, one of the biggest guys in the conference, I think, at running back. But overall, damn fine effort. And I love our Tigers. And I think they can really get better from this. If they don't get the swell head, they can get better.
Thank you, Bill. Good comments, buddy. We got so many calls coming in. We're not going to say much on the comments and calls.
Here's the thing. You know, Burrow's running too much for your liking.
No doubt.
But here's the thing. Auburn knows that there's nothing behind him, so therefore LSU's got to show it a little bit to try to keep him honest. Let's go to Chris in Lafayette. Chris, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, guys.
Happy Saturday, Chris.
Well, I tell you what, you know that guy sells them pillows on TV? Said, "You looking good? Y'all are looking good tonight." I think that, you know, I remember Alex Karras saying, you know, we used to fight blood and guts for 58, 59 minutes and 58 seconds, and all of a sudden a 130-pound guy comes out and says, "I'm going to kick the feet ball. I'm going to kick the feet ball." That's what we got tonight, buddy, and this guy can kick. And a lot of room for improvement tonight, but we've got to cut out these foolish penalties, you know, these 15-yarders. And
sure.
Besides that, they played their hearts out, and, you know, we got a great win. I think one of the observations, I just thought that White was held a lot tonight. I mean, I kept my eye on him, and a lot of times they just held him just about on every play that he was coming through, and that could have been called a lot more often. And I thought the refs did not do a very good job, especially in the first half. A couple of interference calls they did not call when LSU had long passes. But look, we'll take the win, guys. And like I said, y'all looking good. We're 3-0. We can't ask for better than that.
Chris, you like all that passing early, short game on first down. They tried some trick plays. We got so much to digest. But look, appreciate you being a loyal listener and caller. And I think that LSU was playing possum. This is the kind of stuff we were all asking for. Everybody thought I was going crazy, but believe it or not, Chris, I kind of liked a lot of that, what they called today. They had a lot of cleanup on the penalties. You know, stupid on Andre Anthony for that penalty. Damian Lewis has been called 2 weeks in a row for cutting somebody, but if they clean up the penalties, they've got a lot of potential, Chris.
Absolutely. You know, that hurt us for, 2 drives that they had.
Yep, really did.
I still say if LSU could develop a little swing pass like everybody else in the nation, how far would we go?
Thank you, Chris.
How far would we go?
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, let's go to Mike in Baton Rouge. Mike, you're on the post-game show.
Yeah, how y'all doing today, TK and Buddy?
Doing well, Mike. What's up?
Look, I've been transit, so I really don't know what's going on, but I'm going to tell you, I love the game. I think play calling was good in some series. One was a damn some of them. And they still got a ship on that flare pass to the outside. They got to do something next. I don't know how many they completed in a row on that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But look, Auburn puts a lot of pressure on the defense. TK, we saw LSU dominate at the beginning of the game and really dominated the first quarter. Auburn got some momentum, and then they got LSU's defense tired, going to hurry up and scored a couple scores in the second quarter. Mike, did you believe it? I got to ask you, the first guy I asked you, did you believe LSU was going to come back when they got down 21-10, Mike? Be honest.
This is Frank. Yeah, I believed it.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, I didn't give y'all a score, but I said to all my friends, I thought Auburn was going to win, but I said the score was going to be 23-21.
Well, that's what I had, Mike. I had LSU 23-21, and, you know, it is lucky to get that close. But, look, you were right in there. I'm glad you believed, and isn't this going to be unbelievable now? LSU is going to be ranked 7 or 8 or at the worst 9, maybe 7 or 8. And
I don't know if they're going. They're going to break the top 10, but it's probably going to be 9.
Well, my point is, I never would have thought that 3 weeks ago.
Well, it depends on what's, Notre Dame struggled with Vanderbilt today. They should fall down. They're overrated.
Wisconsin might have got
They're
beat,
overrated
yeah.
anyway. Wisconsin, I think, did get beat. If they didn't, they're going to tumble. LSU could very well be 9 or 10 in the polls that come out on Monday.
Who would have said that 3 weeks ago?
We appreciate it, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Let's go to Roger in Baker. Here we go, Roger. You're on the post-game show.
Hey, man.
Come on, Roger.
Okay, hey, wait, Tommy. Hey, buddy, what's going on, man?
Good to talk with you this year, Roger.
Oh, man, you thought I had left town, huh? Guess what? I'm back in town. I just bought a brand new TV. And guess what? I want to see a couple of things.
All right.
Andre Greedy Williams. That whole defense looked good tonight. I'm excited, Tommy. When they kicked the field goal, I started crying, man. I'm going to say this here. We're going to win the national championship this year, buddy. We're going to win the national championship this year. It's already paid for. Look, let me tell you something. All we needed was the offense. We got an offense, and we got some boys to play ball. And Stevie Esmaker called a hell of a game, man. Stevie Esmaker called a hell of a game, man. And I'm going to say this here. I'm going to say this here to you and Tommy. Tommy, I'm going to say this here, man. We're going to win the national championship. You know why? Because we can move the damn football. We got to be able to throw the ball down on the weak secondary people we got. And I'm going to say this here too, Tommy, and don't forget this here. We're going to be the national championship, and guess what? We win the national championship. I want to come on TV.
You got it, Roger. Hey, I was doing it. He's getting ready to eat, Tommy. You see that with Devin White. But, Roger, thank you for the call, buddy. I'm glad you're so excited. Jumping to conclusions a little bit. Let's go 1 week at a time, but it is a nice victory.
Well, a couple of things. LSU, once again, buddy, did not turn the ball over. LSU did not play a great football game. A lot of mistakes, a lot of stupid penalties, a lot of offsides, false starts, whatever. Joe Burrow, as good as he did at times, his numbers aren't great, okay? So LSU won the game on the road in the SEC when maybe they didn't play their best. So they got better than what we saw. So if they keep getting better, got Louisiana Tech next week, then it's back to the SEC grind. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's address a couple of text messages. Finally, an offensive philosophy. This was not a Les Miles coach team. How far up do we think they'll go in the polls? We just commented on that. So that's what we got happening. LSU 22-21. Let's go to Steve in Paradise. Steve, you're on the postgame show.
Perseverance, fellas. Perseverance. Gotta love every bit of what I saw out of the Tigers not giving up and calling it quits on a hot day in Auburn, Alabama.
Great comeback, Steve. I don't know any Tiger fan that didn't have a little doubt when they got down 21-10. And I text somebody and I said, you're going to have some defensive plays because Burrow got in a little stretch where he was overthrowing everything. Yep. And Auburn, let's be honest, that's a damn good football team. Now, I had some people texting me during the game they're overrated, and LSU did have some faux pas with the penalties and all that. But, look, you saw Miami win big. This is the first time in 7 years that LSU has defeated 2 top 10 teams in their schedule, and obviously after only 3 weeks. So, Steve, this is a lot to build on. And I just was so thankful that they were finally able to implement a little bit more of the passing game. TK, we all said it. They had to throw the ball and connect with some of those. Because you wasn't going to run the ball against their front seven. But I do give credit, Steve, to Nick Brossette. This guy is running his tail off in his senior year.
Well, and I got to give credit to Coach Ensminger for letting them throw the ball downfield, keeping that front seven at check, not letting them think that they could sell out and just go in there and swarm Burrow. And kid plays with a lot of heart. But I'll tell you what, the biggest key to this victory today was going out in the offseason, finding the best kicker you can find, and bringing him to LSU because that made the ball game. I had no doubt in my mind that they kept the ball in the middle of the field and he was 45 and in. It was almost an automatic, and I think he could have made that one the last field goal at 53.
And TK, some people criticize Coach O for signing a guy with 1 year eligibility, and he addressed that needs, and we saw how important it was. And even though, look, he's only missed one all year long. That was today from 53 yards. And what a great feeling, Steve. Now, look, we're not sitting here like Roger and saying LSU is going to win a national championship and they're all the way back. It is still a work in progress, but made tremendous improvement. Had a great start against Miami first 3 quarters and laid down stinkeroo last week. I thought that they really played hard, but they do have to play a little smarter and clean up those stupid penalties.
Well, and I would tell you another thing, too, buddy. Getting Josh von Rosenberg, who I think averaged almost 50 on punting today, was huge. But you know somebody that didn't get a lot of play at all in the offseason is that Justin Jefferson. That kid, he goes out, he runs proper routes, he holds on to the football. He got sandwiched on that end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Went down, got back up, came in the game. I just got to say this. They fought like tigers. You got to give this team credit for not laying down on the mat, listening to the 10 count, getting up at 8, and not just giving up on the fight, because they fought through it. And this is exactly, my brother said something. I called him after the game, and he said something. You know what I've noticed about Coach Orgeron, he said, is that when they make some of these mistakes, he goes and chews them out, and he gets the message through. 9 penalties in the first half. How many in the second? 1, maybe?
Yeah, we'll give you some stats after we take a break. We're going to catch up on a break. We'll give you some stats.
1 penalty in the second half.
One second half penalty.
8 in the first half, 1 in the second.
Yeah, well, guys, I enjoyed the show. I wish I could watch you, but I got to hear you. And go Tigers.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back. LSU wins 22-21. Keep the phone calls coming. Keep the text messages coming. Coming up shut a little while. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com with his observations. And Ronnie Rance from the stadium, from Jordan-Hare Stadium. See what Ronnie has to say from the locker room. All of that when we come back with more. LSU 22, Auburn 21. You're watching the Pelican Sports Postgame Show.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
The Accord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Accord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Accord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Accord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Christ, and Tigers win 1-0 in league play, 3-0 overall, non-conference with Louisiana Tech, 6 o'clock next Saturday in Tiger Stadium. Let's get back to the phone lines. James is in Lafayette. James, you're on the post-game show.
Oh, it was a good win. Now, TK, I think you kind of nailed it about the turnovers, man, the 0 turnovers on the road, the young quarterback. I'll tell you what, who don't love this young quarterback? I mean, sometimes his form might not look perfect. Sometimes the passes might not look perfect, but his decision-making, he's cool. He's got ice water for veins back there, and he inspires confidence. You see the receivers, like, going up to get the ball, like one of the earlier callers said. A lot of times that comes from confidence in your quarterback. You know, when the quarterback is playing like that, the receivers, it inspires their play. I mean, it's good. Like you say, the play calling, it's good to see the more open game. Now, I'm going to hesitate a little bit. I would like to see that running game a little bit more positive running game. And the young QB, after the game, first thing he said in the post-game interview, he complimented his offensive line. Okay, no turnovers. He didn't throw any interceptions. Ran the ball a couple of times, no fumbles. How many times was he sacked?
I think Joe probably got sacked 2 or 3 times. TK pulled that up. But look, James, in response to what you was saying,
he was sacked 2 times for 3 yards.
2 times. LSU hadn't turned it over all year long. Really good with ball protection. Play calling was better. Got to eliminate the penalties. On the running game, I think you'll see more runs when you start playing against weaker defensive front sevens. Everybody talked about Auburn's front seven as good as just about anybody in the country. Hey, let's give Nick Brissett. Now, he's no Fournette, Geis, or Darrell Williams, but he's having a hell of a senior year. I know a lot of people that text messaging in and saying they shouldn't have run Burrow too much because you can't afford to get him hurt. But look, it's hard to gripe about anything, James, after you got the W. You know, we had discussion before the show about on the fake punt, and I kind of thought it might be something up because Van Rosenberg was in there instead of the pooch punter. And TK, we saw the play. Had he not had so much adrenaline, probably would push that ball a little too far. But James, you thought Coach O did a good job of managing the game today?
Oh yeah, who can complain? You know, it's also about the running game. When you're behind, you're going to throw the ball a little bit more. And we were pretty much behind mid-third quarter on, and the game was forced on us. So a lot of pressure on us, a lot of pressure on our offensive line and on the quarterback and on the play calling. Defense did enough. You know, the Auburn quarterback threw 2 interceptions, 2 key interceptions in the game. I mean, that was the key. It's pretty basic. You know, and one last thing, because you mentioned, did you really think LSU was going to win? History said no, huh? History said no. You're on the road at Auburn. When all's said and done, we're probably not going to be able to pull this game out. But we did. So I don't know how far we'll go, but I think we're kind of showing that we can play with anybody on a given day. We may be able to play with anybody. All
Good
right.
stuff, James. Thank you, buddy.
All right, appreciate that call. Again, 225-928-4910. Hey, if you want to send a text message, which some of you are doing, area code 504-689-9246. Let's go to Paul in Shreveport. Paul, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, man. What a victory, huh?
Good to see you, Paul. I'm sure I'll see you Friday now over at Sullivan's.
Man, what do you think about taking down 2 top 10 teams in 3 weeks?
First time since 2011. By the way, TK wanted to make sure everybody realized this. Last year, LSU had 2 offensive linemen that played as true freshmen. We know Ed Ingram suspended. We know Sadiq Charles. But Jason Hines came in here, and Marucci got him to change his number from 52 to 57 to be Hines 57. That kid played today until Brumfield came back. Once again, Paul, a great story about a kid. And I got to give a lot of the tip of the hat, not only to everybody that played well, but that offensive line, TK, only sacked twice with Joe Burrow. Had some semblance of a running game, and I think James said a mouthful at the end, Paul. Isn't it great for LSU finally to have a quarterback that doesn't have to change his pants at halftime? You understand what I'm saying? He's got a presence and a poise about him.
And here's the other thing.
I didn't have to change my pants at halftime.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. I mean, we'll have time to digest this tomorrow and all week long, a couple days then to get ready for Louisiana Tech. But LSU was, they didn't turn it over. They had 8 penalties in the first half. They had some other mistakes, drop ball. They had a few things that went wrong, some false starts on the line. But they won a road game in the SEC against Auburn where they were double-digit underdogs. Auburn was ranked 7th in the nation, okay? So, I mean, you just have to give the credit, and I think the silver lining is they didn't play an A-plus game, but they won the football game on the road, and that is the sign of a very good team.
My takeaway from the game is I enjoyed watching Burrow's feet. When he was back there dropping back, he didn't break out, try to go through the back door and get out of the rush. He stayed in the pocket.
Yeah, got to talk to the old ball coach, Pete Cardelli. Tommy, you probably know a little bit about this, but you've had days on the mound where you couldn't locate the fastball and everything was a little high. A little high today, but the presence, the poise, the moxie, the confidence, and the cool-headed. Can you imagine, LSU going in there, and that crowd was against them? That's a big win for Joe Burrow, but it's a big win for all this coaching staff, these players, and obviously, Paul, first time in 7 years that LSU's beaten 2 teams in the top 10 since 2011. And look, like TK said, a lot to work on, but I saw a lot of good things that you can build on.
And here's another thing I like. Joe Burrow will be the first one Monday to say, I can get a lot better. I got to get a lot better, okay? But yet he led his team to a win. This is arguably the biggest start of his career. 3rd one in college, albeit. Miami, neutral site, more LSU fans there than Miami. Southeastern, that's a paycheck game. But to go to Auburn, that place was packed. That place is very loud. We've all been there, not lately, but we've been there. I mean, this is going to make Joe Burrow a whole lot better than he was before this game, and that's good for this football team.
And I like that throwing the football on first down and taking some deep shots, Paul. I think Coach Insminger and Coach Ogeron and Jerry Sullivan, all the offensive guys, they realized you just couldn't line up and run the football, and let's give them credit. They finally took some shots. When did you start to believe, Paul, that they were going to pull this thing out?
I thought they was going to win it when we got the pass interference call, because I saw that kid kick during the gridiron scrimmage, and he had a cannon for a leg. And if Burrow had not kept that ball in bounds, they would not have thrown a penalty for pass interference. How many times we would have a quarterback throw it out of bounds and they said the ball's uncatchable? There was a lot of little plays in that game that Burrow's managed that kept us alive. Little plays that you don't see during when the bullets are flying, but when you go back and look at it, that guy's done.
Good stuff, Paul. Good talking to you, buddy. Hope to see you this week.
I don't realize it.
Thank you, bud.
All right, a couple of messages on the text message line. Somebody was listening to Auburn Network, said it was like a funeral. Auburn, when they were up 21-10, Auburn had no idea they'd lose this game. Their fan base, the whole bit. Okay, so we'll go to defense kept us in the game. There's a text message. Here's another one. Let's see. I imagine nobody's complaining about using a scholarship on a kicker. So anyway, text message line, I got a few of them jumping in there. But the bottom line is this is the signature win for Ed Orgeron.
There's no doubt about it.
Right? You go with that?
No doubt.
On the road, double-digit underdog. Team was ranked 7th in the nation in both polls. Had beaten Washington a couple weeks ago, who's, supposed to be a pretty darn good football team. This is very, very big. I think they'll beat Louisiana Tech next week, but Tech's better than Southeastern, so they're going to have to go out and play the game for 4 quarters.
Well, and the other thing, too, TK, when you watch the first quarter, you were talking to everybody, and you said LSU's the better team. LSU can win this game. Auburn gave LSU a little bit of dose of reality. You saw some of the guys gasping for air a little bit, and they are tough. They really called a lot of good plays. Once again, though, do you realize if Andre Anthony doesn't rough Jarrett Stidham, that cost them a whole drive and 6 points? And the same thing with Damian Lewis on the cut block. They would have had the ball there at the 30-yard line. So 2 plays really cost them at least 10 points. I know they want to clean that up this week, but from a physical standpoint, I don't think that the Tiger fan base is sad at all. This was one full of hearts and guts and a lot of hard work into that.
Let me say this, buddy. What I'm about to say, I mean as much as anything I've ever said. You got to give some credit to the LSU offensive line. Here's why.
Yeah.
Auburn's front 7 is very good. Bunch of them guys are going to play in the NFL, 57. I mean, them guys, they can play. Everybody talked about it all year long, that their front 7 is as good as it gets, and I think they're among the best in the country. Buddy, if you look at the guys that were on the line for LSU today, and if I would have told you on August the 20th, guess who's going to be on the line when they play Auburn, you'd have said, oh, no, right?
Yep.
But those guys, aside from a mistake or two, a penalty or two, they did a great job against a great front. And I'm going to go on a limb. I'll bet you that's one of the first things Coach O talks about in his Monday presser is because when they studied his tape, the coaches look at it different than we all do. They're going to say, you know what, we got an offensive line out there that doesn't have 3 guys who we thought would be there a couple of weeks ago.
But I'm happy as a pig in slop. I asked for the jet sweep. You had a little bit of that.
You got that. You had the double reverse.
The trick play. I asked for some long shots. We got the shotgun. Look, this was fun to watch LSU offense where the back end of Miami and the Southeastern game were so boring. And it's great because, can you believe Joe Burrow, May 21, I think, is the day where he decided to come over here. But, TK, it's been a long time since LSU has had a guy.
He looked like Mettenberger back there. He looked like Mettenberger.
But he's not as wacky as Zach.
All right, now, here, several people have said this. We want to talk about this before we go to a break. About the non-review on the fumble on that little bubble screen, whatever you want to call it, early in the game when LSU was up 7-0, that was in Auburn territory. Coach O called a timeout for them to review it. The announcer's your buddy Gary Danielson. We'll get to Gary after the break. But the announcer, I thought he caught it, 1.5 steps, 2 steps, and then he even turned. He had it when his body started turning, and then it came out of there. But look, these referees here, they got a big problem in the NCAA and the NFL. The referees can't keep up with the speed of the game.
Right.
Okay. These athletes in both uniforms today are so skilled and so talented, and they're the elite of the elite playing college football. The refs can't keep up with it. So you have replay to correct mistakes, but the replay's not correcting obvious mistakes. And look, I'm like you, buddy. There are times we've all sat here and you watch a replay and you're not 100% sure. Okay, even with the slow motion, double angle, reverse angle, super slow motion, you're still not 100%. But sometimes you're 100% and whoever's making the call doesn't get it right. And I believe, as to these couple of text messages, that should have been a fumble. LSU had the ball in Auburn territory. But if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt. Bottom line, LSU 22, Auburn 21. Coming up in about 15, 16 minutes, Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Ronnie Rance from the locker room at Jordan-Hare Stadium. LSU 22, Auburn 21. We're back with more. Give us a phone call, send a text message, and Buddy will talk about Gary Danielson when we return after this pause on the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when
feeling.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah!
Dad!
Oh, in your face! Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on your special day at Greystone. Create lasting memories in our newly remodeled reception hall at Greystone Country Club. For reservations and information, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Buddy Saji, Tommy Chrysan with you. Appreciate you checking it out. Don't forget TV repeats on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. back-to-back airings of the post-game show, and that'll be the case going forward all year long. Buddy, you and I were commenting, and you know, we all listen to announcers differently. Some people like an announcer. Your best friend doesn't like the same announcer, but Gary Danielson and Nestler today, I want to start with this. They mispronounced several names. That just should not happen at that level. They get to Auburn like Thursday night to begin preparing for this game. You meet with the SID. You say, hey, any crazy pronunciations here, and you figure it out. You learn them, okay? And then, you know, they said Fulton didn't start practicing until a week before the game. That wasn't true. He was practicing the whole fall camp. I mean, they just don't know. Now, granted, we're following the program 24 hours a day, so we're going to hear more information than they do. But they should not say something unless they know it to be true. That being said, Danielson, I mean, you know, I hear criticism of him. I've had people tell me they think he does a good job, but I hear a whole lot more criticism.
Yeah, Gary obviously knows a lot about the game, and he does a good job, but we know he's paid by the SEC, and it just seems like sometimes he's pulling against LSU. Now, he did late in the game admit that that was a good interference call, and I guarantee you, in Auburn, Alabama right now, those people are going nuts because they think the referees cheated LSU, and yet you mentioned. Now, let's give Coach O some credit, first of all. He called timeout on that early play to make sure that they looked at it. But back to Danielson, we know he's got the knee pads on for Nick Saban and Alabama and all things in the state of Alabama, but I just don't think he gives a fair shake. He on a couple of the replays that were obvious, there was an obvious pass interference that they missed, and he didn't even address it. So, look, during the game, he irritates you. I told people during the week he would make you unhappy. I'm not. I had 3 or 4 messages saying bring Vern back, Nestler, and those guys.
You don't want to bring Vern back.
No, you don't want to bring Vern back. By the way, here's a little trivia question for you, and you probably know it. But when's the last time LSU won a game on the last play of the game?
Was it Auburn with Flynn?
No.
Since then, hold on, give me a second. Oh, man, I'm ripping through it here. The field goal, no, that was field goal at Bama, 9-6, 9-6 game in Tuscaloosa. Is that the last time?
That's the last time they have won a game on the last play of the game. Of course, that was the game of the century at Alabama. It was on a field goal, 9-6. Once again, if you're just tuning in, if you want to talk with us, 928-4910. We're breezing through a lot of calls. We'll talk to Brian Lazar as well as Ronnie Rance. So many things to dissect. This is one of the few games lately, TK, that I can't wait to rewatch because there are so many things. Greedy Williams got benched early in the game. Kristen Fulton got hurt. Greedy went back, got an INT. Jacob Phillips had a couple of faux pas down by the goal line, and Aranda ended up flipping those guys because they were running away from Devin White. Wow, what a game he had, as always. Every time he was rushing late, they were holding him. Look, Andre Anthony is going to be a supreme pass rusher and had a sack early in the game, but he's got to know better to keep his hands away from the face. John Battle, hate to say this with John, but he's just not playing good football. And he got tossed with the targeting call. He'll be out for the first half of the Louisiana Tech game. A lot of individuals that stood up. And let's be honest, D. Anderson made a big play right there to catch that football. Derek Dillon, big play on that long pass. And look, Joe Burrow, as you alluded to, is not going to walk in like Joe Cool on Monday and say, I played awesome. He's going to talk about, but I wanted to ask you, what is it when a guy's throwing the football or the baseball too high? Well, is that something lower or what?
Well, no, it's snakes in your head. Then you start trying so hard, when you're pitching, you can't throw the ball to your spot. Then all of a sudden you start thinking too much. The worst thing you can do is think, okay? So Joe Burrow there, just take a deep breath. You're a talented guy. You're playing quarterback in the SEC, okay? You were at Ohio State. Take a deep breath. You'll be fine. But it is adrenaline. It's pumping. And look, I've never dropped back to pass when the front seven of Auburn's trying to take my head off. I mean, you got to be a special guy. I'm glad I didn't ever have to do that.
Well, we're not going to criticize Coach Insminger a lot tonight, but I do think
I liked a lot of the play call.
I liked a lot of it, but you got to limit now. That was a third down, and he had the read option with Joe, and he got crunched in the middle of the field. Joe Burrow is a tough guy. We know he doesn't like to slide. He really didn't slide, but he did a better job of pad level and getting down. If you could pull up some stats for me real quick, just so that people.
What you want?
Well, I just want overall. Let's kind of go through
Burrow's
the stats
15
right now.
of 34 for 249, 1 touchdown. That one was to Dillon. 0 for 1 for Von Rosenberg. Stidham, 16 of 28, 2 picks. Brissett, 69 yards. Burrow, 10 carries for 22. Edwards, 10 for 21. Let's see. Yards rushing. Auburn outrushed LSU 130 to 121. LSU outpassed Auburn 246 to 192. Both teams had 9 penalties, but the key there is LSU had 8 in the first half, only 1 in the second half. 2 turnovers for Auburn, 0. That's 3 games, 0 turnovers for LSU. They were one of only 6 teams that hadn't turned it over in the Power 5 conferences, and I don't know what the other ones did this week, but I'm sure LSU will let us know on Monday.
Both kickers missed a field goal. Cole Tracy missed his first of the year from 53, pushed it right. The Auburn kicker, I don't think people realize how important that kick was, TK, when he hooked it. And you were in agreement that being down 2 with what? what, 7-8 minutes left?
Yeah, you got to go for two.
You got to go
down
for two.
2 or 1 doesn't matter.
And so
2 and 1, 4 and 5 don't matter
but
on the scoreboard.
Coach O had a lot of tough decisions to make, and other than going for it, now Allen liked it. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like it. But it had everything that you possibly could want. Tigers find a way, and as we said, Cole Tracy is going to be one popular young man on campus on Monday.
Text message says CBS announcers hate LSU. Now I'm gonna make a statement on that. Okay, they got. If you go find Auburn talk show after the game, they think CBS announcers hate them.
Right.
Next week, A&M and Bama are on CBS. Both of those fan bases are going to think the announcers hate them. That just goes with the territory. Let's go to Jordan in Cutoff. Jordan, you're on the post-game show. Thanks for calling.
Hey, guys. I told you I'd call back. Remember I predicted they'd open that offense?
You did.
And they did.
They listened to you, Jay.
They did. I don't think they listened to me. what they did was they hit it. They hit the plays, and I think it worked. If they would have used those plays against Southeastern, they would have been nearly as effective.
You know, it's been a lot of discussion, Jordan and TK, about do you play possum, do you hold something back, and you know, there's two schools of thoughts. Do you hold it and them not see it, or do you show it, make them prepare, and also you get better because of the repetition? Look, in the SEC with the corners, Jordan, you know this. They are going to be grabbing and pushing, and you've got to have the big upper body, like a Michael Clayton, like a Jarvis Landry, like all these guys, to be able to push off and get away with it and get some separation. And so I know Jerry Sullivan will be working on that, but there were a lot of heroes here with big plays, Jordan, especially down the stretch.
Well, the hero in my opinion was the offensive line. That was unbelievable what those guys did.
Yeah, especially seeing a guy, Chasen Hines, playing his first of his career when Garrett Brumfield got hurt. There were a lot of guys that got banged up. We don't know the severity of Kristen Fulton. I know that'll be coming out.
We're going to try to get a report on that.
And we get a report from the stadium. But all right, Jordan. Now, what are you thinking?
Well, I predicted we'd be 3-0 going into the next game. No, I'm kidding. I predicted 1-2.
Well, guess what, Jordan? You call us back next week, and maybe I'll hook you up with some Manda sausage.
No, this is unbelievable. I am.
All right.
I am very, very surprised where we are right now. Pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't ever guess that we could possibly be 3-0. And I got to tell you, I got to give a lot of credit. Y'all gonna disagree, but to Steve Ensminger, the guy. I think he has been top notch. He's not perfect. He is playing with a quarterback that isn't perfect. But I think he is using this non-perfect quarterback as best as he can. And it is such an enjoyment to watch LSU now as opposed to when Miles was there. It's just enjoyable to watch him play football.
Well, look, last week was a stinker, but TK, Jordan, we talked about this. You're only going to get your team up 6 or 7 times a year. And, you know, it's tough to get them up every week. Jordan, good stuff as always, my man. Call us back next week.
All right, buddy, before we go to break, and then we'll get joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, I'm ready to make a statement for you, buddy.
All right.
And there's still some football to be played this evening and a night out on the West Coast. But through 3 weeks, the surprise story in college football is LSU. Ranked, 24, 25, and they beat 2 teams in the top 10. Neither one of them did they beat at home in Tiger Stadium. You know, now, the other side of the story is Nebraska and Florida State are both god-awful, okay? But LSU could be, after 3 weeks, the quarter pole and 12-game schedule, the surprise story, the surprise team in the country who could very well be ranked 9 or 10 in the next polls, depending on what the other teams do. You always got to have that factor in there. And, you know, this is quite the story that has been written. Personally, I didn't think it would get written, but I'll give credit where credit's due. It was written, and I think every bit of it's true.
And can I give a little credit?
Shoot.
Folks, here's what we do over here at the station on a big game. I grill up for the guys. Number one, if I don't grill for the station guys, I end up eating the whole time. So today, once again, the Manda sausage, the boudin, we couldn't do it without you, the Yarborough family. But now that I've done this for the Miami game,
you're doing it next week.
And you finally got a little bit. No, we're not going to do it next week. We're going to do it for Ole Miss. because you can't do it every week, TK.
Okay.
We'd be too big. But anyway, want to thank those people. But hey, all you have to do, get your sausage, your boudin, your ham, all your great product lines. Eat it on Saturday. I guarantee you it's going to be spicy. It's going to be Louisiana owned, operated, and taste. And guess what? It's good luck as well.
And I'll tell you what, those potatoes from Sullivan's are top notch. Those
Layton,
are top notch.
Chef Llewellyn and GM Layton, we appreciate you. You're taking some of those home, by the way.
Probably. We got to take a break, come back. Brian Lazar, his report on the game. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. 22-21, LSU defeats Auburn at Auburn. What a game. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Christ, and we're back after this pause on the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. LSU 22, Auburn 21. It's our pleasure to now be joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, good evening. How are you?
Good. How y'all doing?
Hey, what did Coach have to say after the game?
Well, he said it was certainly a game in which, they held in there and stayed in there. They fell behind, 21-10, and he told the team, look, there was going to be adversity today, and you had to stick with them, and that's just what they did. The defense, he said, got stops. The offense put together a drive. They got the long 71-yard touchdown pass play to Derek Dillon, and then, Cole Tracy makes the field goal to win the game. So he was very happy. He says, look, we played well sometimes. We didn't play well sometimes, but the main thing is we're 3-0, and that's why we came to Auburn, to leave 3-0.
Brian had 8 penalties in the first half, got that down to 1, but what I was amazed at was just so many different guys stepping up to the plate. Chasen Hines had to go in for Brumfield and played relatively well. The offensive line, you got to give them a big tip of the hat. They played relatively well. Burrow had his moments, missed on some balls and threw the ball high most of the day. But obviously, D. Anderson with some big catches and guys that Derek Dillon, a guy that hadn't been much. Just talk about the way they spread it around and used all those guys. And, you're a big guy with experience. I didn't see Chase and Marshall in that game, and I think that they adhered to what you were saying. That game was probably a little bit too big for the freshmen. And some of the more experienced wide receivers did make some big plays today.
Yeah, certainly Jefferson was the guy that went too early in the game. Buddy, this was a game where, and you see this, you really don't see this as much in football as you do in, say, in basketball and maybe a few times in baseball, but it wasn't a pretty game, but LSU just gutted its way through and got a win. You mentioned they had all the penalties in the first half. The running game was okay. I mean, it kept them honest. Brissett ended up with 69 yards on 19 carries. Burrow completed less than 50% of his passes, but then he gained 250 yards through the air. The defense was good early. Then there was no doubt it ran out of gas there in the second quarter, and when Auburn put the 2 touchdown drives together. But when it was needed there in the, for the last, I think Auburn scored to go ahead 21-10 with about 11 minutes left in the third quarter. So that means that LSU, shut them out, 25, 26 minutes.
Brian, a lot of penalties, a lot of questionable calls, a lot of replays. It was one of those barn burners of an LSU Auburn game. Who do you give the game balls to? Obviously, the game balls got to go to Cole Tracy and Van Rosenberg on what they did special teams. Defensively, Devin White looked like he played really well. Offensively, tell us about some game balls that you'd give out this weekend.
Joe Burrow. I mean, forget about 15 out of 34. He took the team. He connects. He makes a good pass to Dillon, and it connects for the 71-yard pass, and then he drives LSU down the field to get a field goal. Now, look, there were 4 big plays in that possession. Completions, a third down completion to D. Anderson and a fourth down completion to Sullivan, and then you had the 2 pass interference calls. So, I mean, if LSU doesn't get just one of those 4 plays, they're not going to win the game. And look, Auburn helped them out, with the penalties, and I think all of the calls were good. I don't think anything was ticky-tack. I thought that the flags that were thrown, throughout the game, whether it was the pass interference calls, you had some early in the game. Both LSU and Auburn had a touchdown drop early in the game where the big play was an interference call. Kerry Benson had a big interference call. The face masking penalty on Andre Anthony, that was a good call. So it was a sloppy game. It was like when you have all those penalties, you can't get into a rhythm, but you have to give, LSU credit. And look, I know this, the Auburn fan today is sitting back and saying, man, this is 2 years in a row. I mean, last year they blew a 20-point first-half lead. This year they have an 11-point lead at home in the third quarter, and it looks like everything's going their way. And, LSU gets a field goal to cut it to 8. And then, like last year, they got the 72-yard punt return by DJ Chark. This year, they get a 71-yard touchdown pass from Burrow to Dillon that got them close. They didn't connect on the 2-point conversion, but then got the ball back and drove, 50-plus yards to kick the game-winning field goal. So, look, a very gutty effort. They did what they had to. They did what they had to do. Cole Tracy has been the most valuable signee from this class so far, without a doubt. And look, that field goal there to win the game, he nailed it. It was right down the middle. There was no doubt about that one.
Brian, we had a text earlier in terms of LSU versus Auburn and said, man, this game today, the Tracy field goal, it rivals Hodgson to Fuller. And I think you can make the argument, huh?
Well, yeah, look, here's something funny. I think I talked to Buddy about this earlier in the week. The last time LSU beat a top 10 team on the road. The last time LSU beat a top 10 team on the road.
It's also the last time they won a game on the last play of the game. That's Drew Allamon with the game of the century.
Exactly. That's the last time they beat a top 10 team on the road and the last time they won a game on the last play.
Yeah, we'll get Drew on the show this week. Listen, Brian, for also first time since 2011, LSU has beaten 2 teams in the top 10. Going forward now, obviously you got a big one tonight, Ole Miss and Alabama. We'll see how they do. Ole Miss got a great offense, we know that, but porous defense. But
Bama was up.
It's a rout right now.
It's a rout already, yeah.
Alabama scored 28 the first quarter.
Okay, well, I figured they were going to score about 60 on them. But where does this put LSU in the polls this weekend and obviously inside the top 10, Brian?
Yeah, they'll be in the top 10. I don't know how many teams, how many other teams ahead of them got beat, but, LSU is going to be they're going to be in the top 10. I guess they'll be, I don't know, maybe 8. I haven't looked at all the teams yet to see where they are. But look, LSU, we talked about at the start of the year, there were 5 very challenging games on the schedule, and now LSU's gotten wins in 2 of them. And now the last 3 are all in Tiger Stadium. The last 3 challenging games, Georgia, Mississippi State, and Alabama, are all in Tiger Stadium. So now you look at it, all right, where does LSU, they still have to go to Florida, and then they have to go to Arkansas and A&M. Arkansas looks like they're very bad. Florida's just average at best. So, look, you're now talking about a team which you can say, well, look, this team's in pretty good shape to win 9 in the regular season and maybe even win 10 games. So this has been quite a surprise, which is I think today's game was a surprise. And again, I think it was a gutty performance by LSU. They fell behind. They easily, that game could have gotten away from them, but they hung in there. The defense got better, and then the offense did what it had to do. They got a field goal drive. They got a 70-yard touchdown pass, and then they had the field goal drive at the end of the game, where certainly they were helped by the 2 interference calls committed by Auburn.
Brian, tell everybody about TigerBait.com, and as things keep amping up, why everyone should subscribe today.
www.tigerbait.com. There's a big chat going on right now talking about where this LSU team sits right now. And I don't know if anybody except the really, really, really diehard LSU fans were expecting LSU to get off to this type of start. But they're 3-0. And now they come home for a couple of games. Come home to play Louisiana Tech and Ole Miss.
Everybody that got hurt went back, Brian, Brumfield and Fulton.
Let's see. Brumfield got hurt. He went back in. I think that was the only injury, only person that lost. Jefferson was injured. He went back in the game. On defense now, Logan got hurt late and had his leg wrapped.
Yeah, saw that.
Series. And the next series, Neil Farrell played at defensive end, so I don't know.
What about Fulton? Did he go back in or not?
Fulton went back in the game.
Okay.
Now, look, I don't know. Ray Thornton didn't play today.
Yeah, that was.
They started Andre Anthony and Michael Divinity as the two outside linebackers. And when Divinity went out, now, and again, that was also late, and I don't know if LSU had a possession after that. And when Divinity went out, Jacoby Stevens went and played that outside linebacker position. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But on the injuries, see if anybody's was seriously hurt.
Thank you, Brian. Talk with you Tuesday.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. Ronnie Rance from Jordan-Hare Stadium over there on the Plains. We'll get a report from Ronnie if we can connect with him. He's been in the locker room, and we'll do all of that when we continue with more of the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Hey, before we go to break, Scoreboards, Sports Grilling Catering.
Yeah, baby, it's coming.
Okay, very, very close. Coursey Boulevard, food, fun, family, drinks, sports, music, and a whole lot more. Every day's a tailgate. There's a sound stage for radio shows, TV shows. I mean, this is happening right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers over there on Coursey, a little bit to the east of Coursey and Airline. Follow them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering. They're on the social media thing already and very, very, very close to being ready to welcome you 7 days a week, where you're going to tailgate every day. And here's another thing about scoreboards. You want to know a new thing we came up with today, buddy?
What's that?
You don't get towed away.
Ah, I like it.
Huh?
I like it.
We might send a tow truck, bring you 2 scoreboards.
And guess who's on top on the scoreboard today, folks? 22-21. Do you believe
Who
it?
won the contest?
Don't know yet.
Why not? You're supposed to know that.
I had 50-something things. I know it wasn't you.
No, it was not me. Not even close. Let's take a break. Come back with Ronnie Rance. You're watching the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. Why did you go to this?
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone who has taken the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. If you or a loved one has developed alopecia or hair loss after taking the breast cancer drug Taxotere, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. While many chemotherapy drugs can cause temporary hair loss, Taxotere can cause permanent, irreversible loss of hair on the head, eyebrows, eyelashes, beard, and body. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential and you may be eligible. You may not have been warned about the side effects of Taxotere. Your consultation is free. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one has experienced permanent hair loss as a result of the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. But you must call now.
Call 800-794-0738. 800-794-0738.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. LSU 22-21 over Auburn, 3-0 overall. Most importantly, 1-0 in conference play, 1-0 in the Western Division. Let's go to Jordan-Hare Stadium on the plains in the lovely village of Auburn. Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV. He was in the locker room. Ronnie, how are you this evening?
I'm doing great, fellas. Finally got in this American edition, which has been nice. That might have been the hottest I've ever been at a football stadium.
Hey, that's a hot and loud stadium, but Cole Tracy quieted them all. You spoke to the guy who hit the game-winning 42-yarder after the game. What did he have to say?
I joke with Cole Tracy because every week I'm interviewing him because every week he does something special. The guy, as Stuart Scott used to say, is as cool as the other side of the pillow. I mean, considering he came from California, kicked in front of about 500 a game over on the East Coast, and here he is in front of 87,000. In 95-degree weather, and he just booted that game, 42-yard game winner right through. He said I said, look, did you have butterflies before you went out there to kick the last one? He said, no. He said, I went through my pre-kick routine. He said, I was pretty calm. He said, I've been doing it in practice. I've had some big moments in college, and he was confident. All his teammates were. I talked to Devin White as well, who he said they've become pretty good friends. Devin White always kind of gives him a hard time, he said, because he knows he's kicked in front of, nobody. And he said, man, I had the utmost confidence. We were laughing. We were joking on the sidelines. We knew we had it won because everybody believed that Cole Tracy was going to make that field goal. He said, we've seen him do it in practice. The guy is unflappable. And also, I spoke to probably the guy who had the best game of the day defensively, and that's Grant Delpit, the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. He was all over the stat sheet. Career high in 10 tackles. He also had a pass deflection, a bunch of other things as well. He was around the football. And if you heard him, they talked about him on TV. They compared him to Eric Reed. So he reminds of another LSU safety. He's a big physical guy. And he just said it kind of has all come together. They put him in some places to be successful. He knew he had to step up when Battle went out and others. And he had the game of his life.
And the first interception of the game, too.
Yeah. I mean, look, the defense, Buddy, and TK, I really was shocked at how they turned it around in the fourth quarter because I kind of expected in that heat that they would wilt. Auburn dominated the third quarter, and I kind of thought it was going to get away from them, but they made big plays when they needed to, and give them all the credit in the world.
Ronnie, let's talk about Joe Burrow. His numbers aren't going to win him any awards this week, but he made some plays when he had to, some key third downs early in the game, and then, the touchdown to Dillon. He kind of got it done. He ran it a little bit, wasn't afraid to get hit. He'll be the first to tell you he didn't play a great game, but, man, how much better did he improve, which will help LSU going forward? And, like you said, they buy into Cole Tracy. They got confidence in him. I think this team also has confidence in Joe Burrow.
I think you're right. There's no question. Look, Joe Burrow, through 3 games, has a passing percentage less than 50%, but yet they're 3-0. The thing that's scary about this team, in a good way, if you're an LSU fan, is they're 3-0. They're going to be ranked in the top 10, and they've got a lot to improve on. I mean, this team can get a lot better because they have some deficiencies, and that passing game is wobbly. I mean, it looks awful for first and second down, and then somehow it figures out a way to get it done on third down, and so. That it wasn't pretty, but I think anytime you go on the road against Auburn, a top 10 team, and you win a game like this, and you make some plays in the fourth quarter, what that does for your confidence, for your teammates' belief in you, and for his future, you can't measure it. I think this is where he takes off.
Jumbo, great point about shutting them down in the fourth quarter, and I know that it happened so fast, all of us over here at the station watching you being live. And you know you got to give props to Dave Aranda because he did a great job last year of shutting down Malzahn after they got up 20-0. A lot of penalties you got to clean up, but talk about the enormity and if this was Ed Orgeron's signature win as an LSU coach and what he had to say and all of the guys that bought in to what he was, selling this summer.
There's no question this was Ed Orgeron's signature win. This was the biggest win for LSU on the road since the Alabama game in 11 when they won 9-6. I mean, it's that kind of big victory against a top 10 ranked team with a double-digit dog. And he was emotional after the game. I mean, his wife was emotional. He was so proud. He had some tears in his eyes. It was just one of those amazing comebacks. And again, they didn't play perfect and they won. That's the good news for LSU. But look, what this win can do for the rest of the season, now everything's possible. You know, there's not going to be a game that they play, whether it be Georgia or Alabama or any other, where they don't think, hey, as a team, we're going to win this thing. And that's what this game did for them.
Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts TV and Sports Shorts Radio.
Well, Sports Shorts TV right here on Pelican, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. Of course, we tape our radio show on Saturday mornings, which we do from 10 to noon on ESPN Radio, 104.5, 104.9 in Baton Rouge, and then we play that back Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. That's coming up, I think, in a little bit, right after this show on Pelican.
All right, Ronnie, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Jumbo.
Thank you, guys.
Talk with you next week.
Before we go to break, once again, I want to remind you about Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering on Coursey Boulevard, Baton Rouge. Find them on Facebook. Find them on Twitter. Scoreboards, Sports Grill and Catering. Again, Facebook and Twitter. It's going to be food, family, fun, music, sports. Who knows what else?
Radio shows, TV shows.
Great food. There's a sound stage for radio shows and television shows, and there's a tailgate party every day. There's a unique theme. There's a video wall. There's no other place quite like it. There's a lot of fine places in Baton Rouge. We know that. This one's going to be on that list, and it's coming very, very soon. We've been telling you about it for a while. It's coming very soon, but if you follow it on Facebook and Twitter, you follow Pelican Broadcasting on both, you're going to get all the information as soon as it is detailed and finalized. It's going to be a fun place, buddy, no doubt about that.
It really is. We're going to have a lot of interesting things, a lot of fan interaction, and once again, going live on TV, going live on radio. And let's be honest, TK, we watched that last, I guess I got here with the fourth quarter. You guys were all happy and full, and it was just amazing to finally see LSU have the moxie, the poise, the guts, the heart, and draw it up the way they did, whether it be making a great conversion on third down or fourth down, a catch, a kick, or whatever. And, man, can you imagine what it's like in Auburn, Alabama right now? Let's be honest, the LSU almost kind of went in there and stole one at the end.
If you could put a couple seconds on the clock 3 years ago, that'd be 3 in a row for LSU.
Well, no doubt about it, but it really gives the fans a lot to look forward to because
I got something special when we come back.
Because they threw it, and that's what I'm really happy for.
They have convinced me. I was one of the doubters, but they have convinced me what they have done is the story of the year in college football. Let's take our final break of the afternoon, of the evening, of the night. Don't forget TV repeats Sunday mornings, 9 a.m., 10:30, back-to-back airings of the 90-minute program, and that'll take place all year long. We're coming back. I got something special for you when we return. Don't go anywhere. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan, Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. We'll be right back.
Hubby, can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try wasabi sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
Play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. Buddy hasn't had to wear his sunglasses all year, but I think you need to put them on because the future's bright. The future's bright, buddy. The future for LSU football is bright. That's why you got your shades on, not because you're embarrassed.
No, I'm not embarrassed. I picked LSU. I'm not.
No, I'm talking about you wore your shades last year when they didn't do well.
Well, no doubt about it. Hey, by the way, folks, Cole Tracy with the game winner. First time since 2011. Game-winning kick at the end.
Check out all the radio and TV all week. Tigers Roll on Wednesday night. Scoreboard, Sports Grill, and Catering is coming real soon. Coming your way.
See you tomorrow, everybody.